Hello, and welcome to another Wednesday Walkie Talkie, which is quite a nice day today, except I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but it's a little haze in the air and the smell of burning, because we've got wildfires. Not right here, well, at least I hope not right here, but a few miles away. So the wind is actually carrying the haze of the smoke of that, and you've got that little tang in the air, of burning. So, yeah, lovely. Anyway, another Wednesday, another walkie-talkie. And this week I thought, well, I've chatted about quite a number of things to do with the games industry. But I thought I'd have a conversation really about, well, the sort of my gameplay videos, to put no too fine a point on it. I'm just not being happy with how they've been going in terms of the content, not the views, that what have you. That is what it is. But I'm talking about the content. Before I upload a video, I just watch through it to make sure it's okay. And of course, I've been doing this Resident Evil 0 playthrough, and the video I uploaded on Monday, that was just probably the worst video, gameplay wise and content wise, I think I've ever done. And if I'd have had the ability, I'd have scrapped the whole bloody thing and redone it. But because while I'm doing the playthrough I'm saving the game, that would have meant having to restart the whole game. I really should get into the habit of creating multiple save files to sort of protect myself from any kind of issues that may occur in the gameplay. But that's just an old console habit where you had limited storage space. But yeah, it was a terrible video. I spent 40 minutes running around looking for something that was right there on the map, and it wasn't really that obscure, to be honest. And there I am, I'm calling the game out, all the while it's me. I don't know whether it was in the video after, I think it was, or in certainly one of the videos I do this week, I actually do say that, look, this was on me. But the point is that this also sort of happened in the Doom videos, the Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages. It just seems that there's frustration there. I'm getting frustrated while I'm playing these games. And that really wasn't how I used to be. I never really got that way while playing games that I liked. While I was certainly playing games that I knew what I was doing in them. It just seems like I've got much shorter temper now, a shorter fuse. I was kind of thinking, well, what is that? What's caused that? No birds again. Game's gone. What causes that? What makes you get that way? Is it just age? I think that's a convenient crutch, to be honest with you. Although I do think it is part of it. I don't know, you might be able to not see it, but you can see, like, in the distance there's a haze in the air which has come from these fires. You might not be able to see it properly, but yeah, if you look off into the distance, there's like a bluish haze over everything, and maybe you get a better view of this over the lake when I come round. But anyway, so you're just sort of thinking about it and considering it. It's like, this video is not an apology, but it's just a sort of, yeah, I'm kind of done in terms of putting stuff up there where I'm losing my rag, you know, where I'm playing the game and not really enjoying it. I don't know if you can see it better over there, but there's like a haze, and it's not just an early morning sun haze. You can smell a bit of the burning on the air. I don't know whether the camera picked that up or not. I've got my sunglasses on, so I can't really see the screen very well, but I don't know, this camera compensates for things. I have no idea what it does a lot of the time. But yeah, it's almost like a video that's like, I'm not going to be putting up that type of content where I can help it. Because I think it sucks to watch. And I think partially, I'm not really looking for an excuse, but partially just more of an explanation, but partially I think what it is a bit of age, illness and life. I think those three combos sort of mix them together, and when you're playing a game, your patience and your tolerance levels are somewhat diminished. A squirrel. Squirrel. So when you hit a bit of a brick wall in a game, it's kind of, you throw your toys out of the pram, all bets are off, and you just sort of start getting angry at the game. But it's not really that. I mean, I'll break it down a lot more clearer with Doom. Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages, when I was playing through them, I was starting out okay, enjoying it and getting a bit frustrated. And then by the end, I'm just like, really felt like I was, giving the game some pelters. Or the game, sorry, some pelters for them not being what I wanted them to be. So I gave Doom 2016 a pass, which might not necessarily be fair, because some of the criticisms I levelled at Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages, but Doom Eternal in particular with regards to limited ammo, that was present in Doom 2016. But here's the thing, when they come to do another Doom after Doom 2016, Doom 2016 was like very much them testing the water. Will people still want to play Doom? Is there still a fan base for Doom? I think it had been about 12, 13 years since there'd been a Doom game when Doom 2016 came out. I think it was 2002, 2003 when Doom 3 came out. So there'd been this really big a period of time, well, it felt big then, where there'd not been any new Doom games. And so, I mean, you know, if you watch the story of the development of Doom 2016, they were going down a different path. You know, rather than you being the sort of, you know, one-man killing machine, the Slayer, you were going to be part of a squad. It was going to be a bit more like Call of Duty, I think, is what they said. It's going to be a lot more like that. And they ditched it, thankfully, because I think that really would have upset Doom fans. And then they basically went back to remaking the original Doom, but with modern technology. Similar to what they did with Doom 3. Doom 3 is essentially a remake of Doom. You know, you're a Marine, you arrive on Mars, all hell breaks loose. I mean, technically in the original Doom, you're on, you know, you fight on Phobos and then Deimos. But, you know, in Doom 3, you're actually on the surface of Mars itself. So, you know, people will interpret that as, well, it's a different guy, whatever. It's a remake. You know, it's the same story. You know, you're there when the demons first emerge and start killing people. It's a remake. So, Doom 2016 was like a remake of a remake. You know, you get bought out. You know, they just changed up the backstory a bit. You get bought out of Freeze. I mean, you could argue it is a sequel, but it's if something else, it's certainly a soft reboot. It's a bit like Jurassic World. You know, it's kind of a sequel to Jurassic Park, but it's also a reboot of Jurassic Park at the same time. They did it so as not to tread on toes. So, you know, as the series has gone on, you're getting more backstory about the Slayer and where he fits into the Doom universe. Anyway, it's not important. What's important is that once they'd done Doom 2016 and it had been successful, and they were obviously then commissioned to go out there and make a sequel, well, they were going to have to do something different, weren't they? They couldn't just make the same game again. They couldn't, you know, what were they going to do? I mean, Doom Eternal is essentially Doom 2. Let's just have a look out here. It's actually reasonably clear here. You can, again, I don't know if my camera here is picking it up. It doesn't look like it when I look through the viewfinder, but like there's a bit of a haze around where them trees are in the distance. It's not too bad up top, but yeah. So yeah, Doom Eternal, like they had to do something different, and I think where they felt they could do it, like Doom 2 had a lot more verticality to it. Levels like, you know, downtown and places like that, there was a lot more verticality because they'd made improvements to the Doom engine. And I think that Doom Eternal, they tried to make a similar sort of change. Doom 2, there's a lot more verticality, consequently feels like there's a lot more platforming. And I really went to town with them on that. You know, I was like, you know, is this a Doom game or a Super Mario Brothers 3D game? And there are some parts of that which are clearly taken from Super Mario. I mean, there's some really obvious ones like the fireballs sort of rotating in a circle. Come on. You know, where's Bowser? You know, there's some real nods to Mario. But fine, you know, it's not the first game that's ever done that, and it won't be the last. It doesn't make it a bad game, that's for certain. But again, it was like my expectation, what I wanted wasn't met. And because I was frustrated playing the game, it's like, that's what I'm going to attack it. I'm going to give it, you know, a real hard time. That really is absolutely disgusting. That's like, that whole body of water there just literally reeks malaria. You certainly wouldn't, you know, a couple of alligators wouldn't go amiss in there. Oh, as far as I'm aware, there aren't any in there. You never know. But yeah, you got that whole business going on with how they changed it up and how they introduced new things, new elements to the game. I'm just trying to avoid people. You don't think there'd be that many people out this time in the morning. Oh, hey up. Oh no, it's alright, it's a storage thing. But yeah, you look at Doom Eternal and you think to yourself, okay, but it's a really good game. And if I'd have been more, I think if I'd have been in a better frame of mind when I was doing the playthrough, my appreciation of how much I do enjoy that game would have come through more. And the same with Doom the Dark Ages. You know, rather than celebrate the fact that they at least tried to do new things with each one, rather than just recycle the same game over and over again, you're complaining about it. I'm like, you know, oh, I hate what they've done here, and I think I said, you know, is this a Doom game or a Dark Souls game? You know, it's like, well, you know, because I got tired of the parrying mechanic. I mean, I think one of the things I will say in my defense, they do tend to overdo the new mechanics. They really do force them into every nook and cranny. But I suppose for them, they're like, well, what's the point of having a new mechanic if it's barely used in the game, or if it doesn't become an integral part of the game? It just becomes window dressing then, doesn't it? And people will just say, well, you've not really done anything different. And that's not what they want. That's not what I want. I mean, you know, when you're spending a lot of money on a game, you want something that is at least got some difference to what you've been playing before. And we do have some birds over there in the water. So yeah, I think I was like, I don't know. It's just like a you know, it's a bit like a combo of different reasons. Like I say, it's fatigue, not gaming fatigue as such, but just in general. Age, health, and you know, things that are in your life, things that are going on in your life. These things eat away at you a little bit, and when you're doing something, when you're doing a playthrough, that's stressful as well. And for people that have done these playthroughs, they'll know this. There is a weird pressure, even when you're not live streaming it. It's even worse when you're live streaming, but there is this weird pressure of not sucking when you're putting this stuff up there for everybody to see. And you kind of get a bit angry at yourself when you're doing it and you're not grasping what you need to do in a situation. You're not doing well. You're not achieving what you need to achieve. In other words, you just look like you suck at everything. And you don't want to. Nobody really wants that. I mean, you're putting up a gameplay video on YouTube that anybody can watch. You don't want to suck. You don't want to be crap. Not deliberately, not unintentionally. You want to have something that at least makes it look like you're holding the joypad with your hands and not your teeth. Or like you are actually knowing which direction the joypad faces. Like you're not pressing all the wrong buttons all the time, like I've been doing in Resident Evil 0, which has been really frustrating. I keep pressing the wrong button, and you go, oh, the layout here, the actual button layout is that's what it is. The button layout sucks. No, it's just like the fact that I suck because I can't remember the bloody button layout. I've only done 18 videos, 19 videos by the time this goes out, and I still keep pressing the wrong sodding button to go into the inventory. You do start to feel that that you suck. Why is there a frigging shopping cart here? There are literally no shops around here at all. Who in the hell? But I managed to get a shopping cart all the way here. There isn't any shops for miles. I don't know if that's an Aldi shopping cart. I don't know whether there's a bloody Aldi near here. I've never seen one. I mean, it's literally a nature reserve. There's some proper absolute fuck-ups out there. Anyway. So yeah, you start to get frustrated and you kind of lash out at the game because you don't want to, but I'll also lash out at myself. But you just end up lashing out in general because it's like, I don't know, maybe there's like a degree of humiliation that goes with it. People are watching it and thinking, like, Jesus Christ, has this idiot not figured the controls out yet? And it's like, no, really, I haven't. It's like my brain just cannot cope anymore with games that require more than 2 button inputs. So, there's a degree of that too. And that manifests itself because you're recording this stuff while you're playing. You're recording your thoughts while you're playing the game. You're not doing it post. It comes out there and you're like, you just come across as being very down on the game and frustrated all the time. That's kind of how I've perceived myself, and it's like, well, that's not me as a gamer. Certainly, like in years gone by, that would not be how I would be. And I will say this also: if I wasn't recording, I don't think I would be as frustrated. Now, this isn't me saying I'm stopping doing this. This is me saying I'm going to try and be more mindful of of what I'm like when I'm playing, because I think what I need to get over is the fact that it's okay to suck sometimes. there can be an enjoyment from people watching you making absolute town halls and not getting, sort of not turning into somebody that just seems to hate everything he's playing, because I don't. And I'm one of these people that will go and use like hyperbole, like this is the worst game ever, when it clearly isn't, or I hate this game when I clearly don't. And sometimes you'll see in the videos, I'll either try and quantify it, or I'll basically retract it. Okay, I don't suck. Because that's me. That's just how I respond when I'm playing games and I hit something. Oh, dragonfly! I don't know if you saw that. I think it was a dragonfly. It was a big ass fly. But yeah, I do tend to fall into that trap, as frustrating as that may be. And so as much as I think some people can find that, like, the humour in watching somebody being epically shit at something, I kind of don't want to be slamming down on games that are clearly not crap. Just because I'm having a rough time playing it, that doesn't mean to say that while I'm playing it, that I am. It's just that I'm being a whinge arse. I'm just moaning and being a knob. And I really need to try to scale that back. Now, obviously, I've got another couple of videos. Well, I say obviously. I mean, I don't know if you know, but I pre-record. I do my gameplay videos on a Saturday, and I've put 4 in the barrel. That covers me for the week, because I'm too busy in the week to set everything up and start recording gameplay footage generally. So I've got these in the barrel. So they might be, the videos that come out on Thursday and Friday might be whingy. So it'll be what comes out next week. Which will probably still have moments in it. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, that I am mindful of when I've been watching these videos, because when you're watching them after before you're uploading them to YouTube, and you're not in that moment of frustration and pressure. I know it sounds daft because you're playing a game, but like I say, it's the pressure that I put on myself to not be too massively shit. And of course, missing that hook shot thing was just absolute clown shoes on my part. So that really set me off. It's like, how can I pass this responsibility of being crap? So kind of like I try to blame the game, blaming the mechanics of not being able to carry everything around with me that I needed. And then was like, oh, I didn't see that bit there. But it was right there on the map, and I do cop for it. I'm like, yeah, that was my fault. But, like I say, the criticisms that I had of Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages were really unfair in the game. And that was just down to me having an unrealistic expectation. I don't really know what I was expecting. Well, I do. What I wanted them to do was remake Doom 93. An absolute like-for-like remake, so the map layouts, everything being the same, the level design being the same, but with modern graphics and textures. So you have like the modern stuff that you see in the games, but mapped to the exact environment with the exact same gameplay mechanics of a 32-year-old game. You see, when you put it like that, that's colossally unreasonable. That is just massively unreasonable. I mean, there's no way that I could fairly expect any development company to spend millions of dollars and pounds on developing a game. And that game essentially is already out there. That game's already out there. You can buy it, you know, Doom 93 exists. And there are mods for it. And essentially, I just wanted a mod. Like a AAA mod. Caution, archery in progress. Let's do, going for some of that. All right, dude. So, yeah. I just wanted to sort of get that out there because I'm mindful of it, and you know, I know that for a lot of people that kind of thing isn't particularly well regarded, and it has played on my mind quite a bit. Finish off here. I'll finish it up here today. There's a few people down there, so yeah, we'll call it there. Yeah, so hopefully there'll be a bit of a change going forward. We'll try and be a bit more mindful, and yeah, that's it. I think. I say I'm not going down there today because there's a few people down there, and I don't want to go down with the camera. All right, so I'll catch you all later.